Let me see if I can get in the chat and answer. Oh, I can get in the Q&A, couldn't I? Open 205. All right. What tips would you give applicants on creating engaging essays without veering too much into a creative writing mindset, maintain the professional sense required of essays? Okay, so that's a great question, anonymous attendee. You want to use the essay is limited to 500 words. So you really use your 500 words to answer the questions on the application. I can't do this right now. Okay. I think I can pull up the application. I think that when you're in the scholarship application, the essay tab will give you specific prompts. And if you write to those prompts, you will have written an effective essay. Without getting into the creative writing mindset or anything like that, our judges have given us definite feedback on what they're looking for. So I think if you write to your prompts and talk about what you did, quantify what you did, talk about your role in what you did, I really believe that that is going to give you the kind of essay that there are. And Franco, let me see how many different prompts there are. I will tell you momentarily. My system is slow today. I'm sorry. And I should know how many prompts there are because we wrote this. It's just been a while. It's been a hot minute. Okay, so it asks you to describe a time you identified a need, took the lead, and came up with a solution, how you created the solution, how you involved others, the steps you took to arrive at a solution, who was involved, include your impact data, the numbers that quantify your outcome, and how you applied your intellectual or academic skills to the endeavor. So it tells you what it can involve. It gives you a link to a really, really great article written by Kristin on what the essay should be. So you just kind of speak to the prompts here, speak to the prompts throughout. We've put prompts throughout the scholarship application. Every time we ask a question, we try to give you prompts, and we do curate those prompts based on judge feedback. So when you're going through here, if we recognize that you may have questions, we give you a link. There are links all through there, all through the application. There are tips. They're little blue circles with white question marks in it. If you hover over that we call tool tips, if you hover over it, it'll give you some more information. It'll help clarify the question. When you see those little blue tool tips, know that someone's asked us those questions multiple times, so we've included the explanation in the application. We try to give you as much information as you need to get the application as complete as you can. And please understand, if we ask a question, we're going to use it. The scholarship application. Canadian members are eligible to apply for all of our scholarships. We do have Canadian students win scholarships on a regular basis. So do apply. Oh, I've gotten to the bottom of the chat. Thank you, Caroline. She's posted the link again. All right, we've got let's see. There we go. All right, Cameron, you're a first semester sophomore with 52 credit hours. I would apply now for the internally administered PTK scholarships. I would also start looking at the transfer scholarships from the four-year schools. Some of them will have really early internal deadlines. For example, when my son transferred in August, we applied for his transfer scholarship in February. So I would go ahead and get in the scholarship portal now, scholarships.ptk.org, do the eligibility quiz, complete your PTK scholarship application, and utilize PTK Connect to begin looking for those transfer scholarships. The May deadline will not apply to you because that is for new students who have less than 12 who have less than 36 hours completed. So Cameron, this is the time to do it. This is time for you to get in there and apply for all the PTK scholarships that you're eligible for, and start looking for the transfer scholarships. Talia, we only have nominators for the All USA program. Everything else is open to students without nomination. Laura, scholarships are available. Sometimes they're one payment, sometimes they're two payments, sometimes they're over 4 semesters. It really depends on the program. We don't follow an academic year like your financial aid office does. Our donors tell us what they need from our scholars, and we tell you what we need and when you need it, when we need it. And then we'll dispense the money based on that. So it's not really following a semester. So some are 1 semester, some are 2 semesters, some are 4 semesters. And Reagan, thank you for being here. Reagan's one of our staff members, and she's helping answer questions too. This is awesome. Takes the whole village. And I'm probably missed a ton of questions because my chat box keeps scrolling. So Ashley asked a good question about letters of recommendation. You really want, whatever you're writing about in your scholarship application, you want the letter of recommendation to come from someone who can speak to those things, especially your essay. So we do recommend club advisors. If it's something involving your work, yes, an employer, I'd advise you not to ask your family and friends to write your letter of recommendation. Judges get turned off on that pretty quickly. But definitely your PTK advisor or another honors club advisor, your honors program advisor, a professor, but someone who's worked, or maybe a volunteer coordinator in an outside organization, but someone who's worked closely with you on some of the things you're writing about in your application, especially your significant endeavor for the fall. There's a great article about letters of recommendation in the support library, and it will articulate exactly who needs to be writing your letter, because some of the students who are in the career technical field will want letters from people who are different from students who are transferring, because they're looking for 2 different kinds of letters. So I do encourage you to go back to the support library and check out all of the really great information that's kept pretty relevant, pretty current. If we have to answer the question more than 2 or 3 times in a week, we know more than 2 or 3 students have the question, and so we put something out there to help you. They're getting, Kristin, correct me if I'm wrong, 25 to 30,000 views a month as we move closer to the deadline.
Yeah, that's pretty accurate. We'll see that by the time the deadline gets here, they've been viewed over 100,000 times. And the closer it gets to the deadline, obviously, the more views it picks up. But yes, that is completely accurate.
So we're putting it out there, and students are using it. So we encourage you to check it out. It is probably one of the best kept secrets in PTK on the website right now, I think. Yeah, the TEAS exam, if I'm not mistaken, is the exam that gets you into nursing school. So if you've taken your prereqs and you want to get into nursing school, you have to take the TEAS exam to get into nursing school. So non-citizen, non-residents, yes, you're eligible to apply. International students are eligible to apply. Temporary residents are eligible to apply. Scholarships with special situations such as disabilities. Not at this time, but we've had students with disabilities and special needs. We've had dually enrolled students. We have students of all, we have all students, every kind of student you can imagine has been recognized with scholarship. So if you have disabilities and need assistance with your application, we can help you. Your advisor can help you, or your nominator can help you. This chat's moving so fast, I can't keep up. Scholarships for not specifically for psychology majors, but we do have some major specific scholarships, and that will pop up on your eligibility when you enter your major, your current field of study. your current major. Yes, include your organization name if you're volunteering for someone, and please, if it involves an abbreviation, please, if you have to abbreviate it in the name, articulate it in the description, because sometimes we don't know what those are, and sometimes judges don't know what those are. I would say as a good rule of thumb not to abbreviate anything. So, what do judges look for in a strong scholarship application? Oh, we've got that out there in articles. They look for cohesive content. They look for scholarship applications that students have written to the prompts. They've actually answered the questions. They've spelled everything correctly. They haven't plagiarized something. They haven't paid somebody to write their response for them. It makes sense. The entire application tells a story. The student's passion comes through. The student's leadership is articulated. The judges, they look for students who have taken their time. They know when students started on deadline day. Don't ask me how, but every single judge says this student did this app in 10 minutes. I'm not spending my time on it because they're volunteering their time to read for us. And they're spending 20 to 40 hours of their time reading our scholarship applications. We want to make sure they're reading good quality applications. We want to make sure that we're not wasting their time. So the judges, every single time we get good judge feedback, we put it in an article. If, for example, the letters of recommendation will tell you what the judges are looking for. The significant endeavor essay will tell you what judges have told us. So strong. I don't think you need the TEAS exam for a psych degree, but I could be wrong. I have a history degree, so I don't know. You can win multiple scholarships. Part-time, full-time. Part-time is usually 6 hours. Full-time is 12 or more. Information on PTK Edge is on the website. Oh, that's such a good question. I'm gonna have to find that one. If you go to, is it online tools? Connect. Nope. Okay. On the website, if you go to ptk.org, under benefits, it's professional development courses. So you will find all the edges here. And I just think that everyone should do at least the edges. Leadership development. Well, I can't make it go down here. Research edge, competitive edge, that soft skill development. If you're getting ready to enter the workforce, employment edge is tremendous. If you're in the healthcare transit, if you're in the healthcare field, healthcare edge. You can do as many of the edges as you want to do. Kind of learn at your own pace. Pre-med students, not specifically pre-med, but we do have pre-med students win scholarships because generally they've got, and those who have pre-med students usually have really strong involvement and engagement because they're pre-med and they're typically medical schools are looking for some of the same things we're looking for. If you've won scholarships, and you can win another one. If you have a previous degree, you can still win a scholarship in the fall. Thank you, Caroline, for the Get an Edge link. That's awesome. I missed that question. It went by too fast. Again, this is being recorded. As soon as the link is available for viewing, we'll send every single registrant a link to the webinar, and we'll give you some of the resources as well.
Laurie, I have a question. I figured I would ask it live. I've seen it several times in the Q&A, so let's go ahead and put it out there. How long does it usually take to hear if you've earned a scholarship after the deadline? If you don't mind answering that live. I've answered it several times already, but go ahead.
The scholarship deadline is December the 1st. Judging will commence mid-December. It will wrap up mid-January. We will vet and verify students and begin notifications in February. So give us about 60 to 75 days to get through the judging and verification process, maybe 90 days on some programs. But it's not automatic. If you've done it and the deadline is December 1st, please don't email me on December 2nd saying, did I get a scholarship? Because we have thousands and thousands of applications to go through, and we have judges that are going to spend at least 2 weeks reading scholarship applications. And we want to make sure that we've been as thorough as we can. We've read as many applications as we can.
Yes.
We do email you directly if you got a scholarship or if you didn't get a scholarship.
Yeah.
We will notify the scholars first. If somebody can't accept, we'll move to an alternate. Once everybody's accepted, we'll send everyone else an email saying, I'm sorry you weren't selected. Here's some other opportunities. Here's some links. Everybody's emailed. And if you give us an email address in your scholarship application, please check it. Please make sure @ptk.org is added to your safe sender list, because we found out, especially this year, a lot of the notifications that students had won a scholarship were directed to junk or spam.
That's right.
And it wasn't until Kristin started following up with them um, that we
We found
figured
out.
that out. And they were like,
Yeah.
oh, I did find it in my junk folder. I found it in my spam folder.
Yeah. Laurie, you said to just letting students know, don't email us on December 2nd asking if you got a scholarship.
mhm,
Yeah, please don't. And honestly, if you email us that day anyway, that email would likely get covered up in the hundreds or maybe even, upwards of 1,000 emails that we're going to have because it's deadline
mhm,
day.
mhm.
So only email us on deadline day or shortly after if you have a question or an issue with your scholarship
Issue.
application. That's
Hopefully,
what we will be focused on, and we will just go ahead and let you know. Our phone lines are going to be tied up, and the best way to communicate with us is through email,
email.
not by
Mhm,
phone. Email us any
mhm,
questions, any issues you might have.
yep,
Just throwing that out there because that's a very common question we get. So please
yes.
email us with any issues, problems you might have.
Right. And I will say this, your goal should always be to be done well before the deadline, because I will say this, I've seen 2 different years where we've had an overload and it goes down. You don't want to be the person um, that has waited till the deadline day and logs in with 48,000 other people and the scholarship application goes down. This has been open since March. There's no excuse for waiting until the last day. There's none. And I did the math on this, 80% of our scholars are done well before the deadline. They start early and they finish early. And they follow all the rules and tips and tricks and hints, and they're done. So when December 1st comes and the system crashes, doesn't bother them at all. They're out doing whatever. They're out of school, they're taking a vacation, whatever. They don't worry about it. They're done. So start early, finish early, and you don't have to worry about what happens on deadline day. Um, if anyone has taken the eligibility quiz and has gotten red boxes, just shoot us an email. We'll try to help you. It's
That's
not
right. Any
always
specific.
every red box. It's not always your major field of study.
It's not your
Sometimes
major field of study.
it's pretty much not.
It's
Um,
not.
if,
That's a common question we get.
yeah, it's either your GPA, your enrollment status, or you've confused the system.
Yeah, it's
Um,
a question I found in the Q&A, and the question we get a lot throughout our emails from students. It's the succession of hours. There's a question on there, I believe it's
oh,
question
good
2,
point.
that asks you to enter the cumulative or total number of hours you've completed as of a January 2021 date, July, and as of December. It's not asking you to type how many hours you're currently enrolled in for each of those terms. It's asking you to do math and add up, look at your transcript and add up the total number of hours you had as of January 31st of this year. Then the next question asks you how many hours you had as of July 1st. So you're going to add to that. Your hours should never go down, they should always increase. And then it's going to ask you how many hours total you will have completed as of December 31st. So that is a big question. We have gotten that probably every single day since the application has opened. And that could just be the one little thing that's giving you ineligible responses right
Mhm.
now. And if you have questions with that, or if you need us to look at your transcript, I've already told someone in here, email us a copy of it, send us a screenshot, or just tell us your name. We can pull up your application, we can look at it. But if you send us a transcript, we can help you with the math on that. So
Mhm.
we'll be happy to help you
Yeah.
any way we can. But
Mhm.
typically, our succession, current enrollment status, GPA, those are
Mhm.
typically the issues within the application, or you've just confused the application.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. What happens when the application gets complete are students who will answer the questions and they're not eligible, so they start changing answers to random questions to
right.
try to get eligibility. They're trying to fool the quiz. And the more they try to fool the quiz, the more confused the quiz gets. And so things just start turning red and lighting up. Um, I will say, but for all but one of the programs with the December 1st deadline, the minimum GPA is 3.5. We do not round up. If you got a 347, 348, or 349, you're not eligible. You have to 350 or higher. Those are verified at the time of application via transcripts, and they are verified at the time of award um, via another transcript upload that you'll be requested to provide. So um, if you don't have it, there's one program that does take a 3.0. But if you've got a 225 or 247, you're not going to be eligible. And it could be that you've put that low GPA in, maybe you made a typo, but it's turned a lot of things red. So, um, but if you have any questions at all that aren't answered by the support library or the webinar or the chat box or the Q&A box, go ahead and email us. We may be a little inundated for the next day or so. Um, I'm sorry your question was skipped. There's so many questions. There's so many people in here.
We've got 233 currently that I'm still working on.
Yeah,
234
yeah.
just
So,
in the Q&A box. I
well,
promise we will get to it. If you
we
do not see
will.
that you have an answer, email us at
Mhm,
scholarships at ptk.org. I forgot our email address. Scholarships at ptk.org. You will have 3 scholarship team members and they're answering questions for the next several days.
yes,
We will
yes,
get to your questions, and this,
yes.
to answer the majority of what I've seen, this is being recorded. This will be shared to anyone that registered, and it will
Mhm,
also be posted in our scholarship support library. We'll make sure to put direct links out there. If you want to make sure that we have it, I would say give us a, what's the turnaround time for this webinar to be given back to us? Maybe a few days.
that
I don't
would
know.
be maybe a Caroline question. I don't
Caroline might
know.
know that.
She might know. Maybe a week. I don't know what they have to do. I don't.
Yeah, that's true. That's not my forte. I just talk about scholarships.
Yeah, I'm just talking
But
about scholarships.
once it's available to us, it, like I said, it will be emailed to you guys, and it will be posted in several places, I'm sure, on our website. But
Oh
I
yeah.
will make sure that it's posted in our scholarship support library. I actually have an article already drafted out for it. I just need the link to post in it. So
Hmm.
it will be posted as soon as it's made available to us. I promise. I promise
Yes,
we're going to get
yes,
on that for you. And
yeah.
Laurie, I do have this
Hmm.
question's been asked several
Okay.
times before we go. I know it's a little after 5 Central Time. Are we able to share the PowerPoint slides that you used today?
Yes, we can just send us
Okay.
a request at scholarships at ptk.org.
Okay.
Um, we can certainly we pretty much we share the presentation with chapters with regions. In fact, I'm doing a regional presentation this weekend in New York, so we're using something similar to this. If you've got a chapter presentation that you want to do, we can certainly give you some slides for that, or one of us can sit in if our schedules permit. We're always happy to sit in on your chapter presentations, or if you want to do a scholarship workshop and you want a staff member to sit in and do a presentation, we'll be happy to do that. Even if you want to do a roundtable discussion, um, we just ask that you have more than say 10 people attend your event to participate in it. But we're always happy to share all of our resources with you. PowerPoints, handouts, you can use any of the tips and you can use any of the graphics on the support library to do anything you need to. And if you need something, email
Yeah.
us.
That's right. Honestly, just email us with anything, any questions you might have. And I'm not sure if we have any advisors or nominators on the webinar today, but there is a special section specifically for our nominators in our support library
Mhm,
that might be helpful as well. We're going to have a nominator webinar put out there as well that we hosted a few weeks ago. And there are also some helpful articles that our nominators and advisors find very useful whenever they're helping their students on their campus. So we have a little bit of everything for everybody.
mhm,
You'll see the support library broken out into different sections. There's one called webinars, some that we've hosted in the past. That is where this will be posted. There are helpful tips, tricks, everything, advice for letters of recommendation, what's a significant endeavor essay that's out there. Applicant guides, eligibility criteria, that's listed out there as well. And if you just want to see some presentations that have been done in the last year for some of our scholars, the recognition ceremonies for All USA as well as New Century Workforce, those are posted out there too. So you can get a look at who our former scholars have been this last year. And
Yep.
we hope to see you guys there one day too.
So do you think it would be helpful if I shared my screen and showed the support library?
Yes, show them
Okay.
how to get there. Start at the very beginning.
Oh, okay. Hold on. Let me. I gotta go backwards.
William is doing
I
great
got here
posting those
from.
links.
I'm gonna get here from the app.
Okay,
Okay.
that's perfect. That is
So
perfect. Do that.
if you were on, can everybody see the
Yes.
screen? Okay.
Yes.
So if you're on the scholarships.ptk.org and you've got your scholarship application pulled up or your dashboard pulled up, you'll see a help button down here. It's right before visit ptk.org. If you click the help button, it will drop you directly into the scholarship support library. And it looks like this. There's your deadline information. Here's your scholarship application information. People are asking what the judges want to see in a letter. It's contained in this article. What judges want to see in an essay contained in this article. If you just want a comprehensive view of the entire scholarship application before you even get started, you can download this 22-page PDF. It's very comprehensive. If you're a nominator or you're interested in nomination for the All USA program, this applicant guide is great. At the bottom of each section, Kristin's given us a link so we can expand it. There's FAQs, there's tips, there's all kinds of stuff in here. We encourage you to rat around and explore. That's a technical term, rat around, by the way. Tips for applicants, nominator support, webinars that Kristin was mentioning, and frequently asked questions. These are the questions that I'm going to go back through the chat. If the same question is being asked in the chat repeatedly, we may want to pop it out here in an FAQ. We just want to make sure that everybody, we don't have to answer the same question 48,000 times during the application process. We want to make sure that if we know the answer, we've given it to you in this library. So there's a lot of application questions here. I encourage you to look through there. If you don't see the answer that you need, ask us. Don't be scared. Nobody's gonna eat you. That's what they told me when I was interviewing for this job. Nobody's gonna eat you. So do ask. There's no such thing as a stupid question, dumb question.
That's right.
You don't know until you ask. I'll be the first one to tell you I don't know, but if I don't know, I'll find the answer for you. There's a section for all state coordinators. Somebody asked a question, if you don't get the All USA award, can you get an all state award? Yes. In 39 different states, you can be recognized as a member of an academic team. No. So there's some information for all state coordinators, general questions, transfer scholarships for the students who are getting ready to graduate or transfer, and the videos that Kristin referenced earlier. So this is I can't stop promoting this. I can't help myself. But we're kind of proud of it. It's kind of grown over the course of the past 2 years. And we feel like it does give students a lot of support, because I feel like it's our job to educate you guys or empower y'all to do competitive scholarship applications. So if there's something you need from us, we're always here to support you. We're here to support advisors, nominators, faculty, anybody who needs anything related to scholarships. Even if it's not one of our scholarships and you've got a question, we'll try to find the answer for you.
Yes, and one other thing I'd like to throw out before we end this webinar. One, thank you for attending, and two,
Yes, thank you.
we had a great question about, was this webinar entirely about scholarships? And my answer is yes. However, this person was specifically wanting to know more information about PTK in general. What are the requirements to join, activities, etc. So I'm letting the student know, and I'm letting you guys know as well. Any questions you have about benefits or membership in Phi Theta Kappa, email our membership team directly at help@ptk.org. They will be the ones to answer those questions. We are the scholarship experts. We can talk about scholarships all day long, but those our team members in membership are the experts on all things PTK. They can answer a little bit about everything. So
Mhm.
any questions you have about requirements, activities, GPA, whatever it might be, email them again at help@ptk.org. They'll be happy to answer your questions about how to become a member of Phi Theta Kappa.
I just put that email address down in the help@ptk.org. Yeah, they're just like us. They're real people, and they answer the emails every single day, all day long. So there are no dumb. There are no. I just tell you again, there are no stupid questions. Ask the questions, and we don't get tired of answering questions. We answer them every single day, all day long. You're not alone. So I promise you that we'll find a way to get to capture the chat, the transcription of the chat. Make sure that if there's multiple questions, explain question 10. I'll try. Question 10 on the scholarship application. It is 5:15, y'all. We'll probably need to wrap it up pretty soon, but let me attack 10. Let me see what 10 says. 10. What date do you plan to start classes at the four-year college? Okay, so this is a really good question. If you're going to transfer and you're going to leave the community college or the associate degree program, and you're going into the bachelor's program or to the four-year school, and I say this, and I'll tell you why in a minute, just pick your date. If you're going to transfer in May, you pick June, you pick spring. If you're going to transfer next summer, you pick summer. If you're not transferring, you pick not enrolling. If you're taking a gap time, pick fall 22 or later. If you're in a school that offers associate and bachelor's degrees, you need to indicate the time that you're transferring from the associate program to the bachelor's program, even if you're staying at the same school. So it's just the period of time that you plan to start classes at the four-year college. If you're career tech, you're graduating, this is your terminal degree at the community college, you put not enrolling in a four-year school. If you're already in the bachelor's program or at the four-year school, pick already enrolled. It's just looking for that period of time where you will be at a four-year school or in the bachelor's program. So I hope that helps. No, William, there are no 2023 transfers. That would be next year's app. Dually enrolled students, you can indicate that on the applicant profile. If you have eligibility for any of your scholarship programs, you'll indicate dual enrolled on the applicant information tab. Dually enrolled students do win scholarships, but when you're, and I can speak to this, if you're a dually enrolled student, we're not looking at your high school stuff. We're focused on your community college, your coursework, your involvement, how you're using your community college education to impact those around you. So we're really not looking at the dual enrollment status. We do have dual enrolled students who do win scholarships. They're very involved on campus, and the high school campus and the college campus. They're very tenacious. They're very gritty. They're determined. They have all the qualities that scholarship judges are looking at, and they're very successful. You answer question 1 as from your community college standpoint. All you dually enrolled students need to be answering the quiz based on your community college enrollment, not your high school enrollment. So that would be associate degree, probably part-time. Since you're a high school student, you're probably taking 6 hours or less. If you're taking 6 hours or more, you do full. So you definitely need to be answering the eligibility quiz based on your community college involvement, not your high school involvement. There's only one need-based scholarship, Jordan, on the fall application. It's the Obendorf Lifeline to Completion Scholarship. Everything else is merit-based and competitive. What do I answer for Q5 as a dually enrolled student? Is this called
Is
Stump
Q5
This?
the major?
Major.
Mhm.
Yeah. You can answer general
General studies or liberal
general
arts?
studies or liberal arts. For those of you who have majors that aren't on this major tree, just pick something similar. I can't list every single major from every single school because they would fuss that it's too long. So we try to do very broad categories. So just pick something close. If you're not sure, there's an other science. We took the undecided out because that's no. But you can pick the liberal arts and general sciences, certainly. And if you're doing just prereqs or you're just doing core classes, I'd pick liberal studies, general studies, liberal arts. Our email address, oh, Caroline got it. Yes, you're still scrolling to your major. Because I pulled up a very comprehensive major tree and they were like 22,000, and I'm not putting that in a scholarship application because I don't have that much time. And I'm the one that has to sort through the data and give people lists of majors, and I'm not going to sort through 22. Data science, I'd pick computer science. Data analytics would go under, I would put it under computer science in a heartbeat. You can't find general studies or liberal arts on the options. It's in the L's. It's under legal professions, between legal professions and library science. Liberal arts and sciences / general studies. I've lost my chat box. How long do scholarships last, Ruben? It can be anywhere from 1 semester, 1 payment, to 4 semesters. It depends on the program. On the website, it should tell you that it's a scholarship of $7,500 paid out over 4 semesters, or it's a scholarship of $250 paid one time. Your associate in science, Carrington, if it's not a specific degree, if it's just a general degree, I'd put liberal arts and general studies. If you don't have a significant endeavor essay, you can still apply for the scholarship. It's just not going to be as competitive. Most of the programs on the fall application are looking at that significant endeavor essay as the most heavily weighted portion of the scholarship. Prerequisites count as a credit. Every single college course you take, except for your remedial courses, count as credit. So if you're taking prereqs, they're credits. Generally speaking, credits, hours, and there's units. 3 credit units, 3 credit hours, 3 semester credits. They're all 3. So they all count. There are no business specific scholarships. There are no first gen scholarship specifics. Why are there red boxes around Q2? Well, email me, Brooklyn, and I will
Just
look at
email
it
us.
and try to tell you. I can't tell you right now. It's probably a math issue, if I had to
Right.
guess. It's not looking for enrollment. It's not asking you how many hours you're enrolled in for each of those. It's looking for cumulative number of hours completed by each milestone date. And if you put in a number in July that's less than a number in January, it's going to confuse it. It's going to turn it red. But if you want to email me, I'll be happy to take a look at it in the morning and let you know. Carrington Scholarship awards through this internally administered application go directly to you. So you will receive a check or a direct deposit, courtesy of Kristin, for the amount of your scholarship as soon as you meet the requirements in your award documentation. So yes, if you're taking prereq courses for dental hygiene and a 2-year tech, you can still get a scholarship. Hours are hours. Claudia, yes, the webinar will be available. It's being recorded, and after it's processed, we're going to send all the registrants a link to where it's posted on the different platforms, and you can take advantage of it. If you're in a diploma program, I would just put under associate degree. We had to take diploma off. It was confusing because we deal with a lot of dually enrolled students and they were all choosing diploma. So judges review individual applications. About 70. Each application is read twice by 2 different judges, and the scores are averaged. Fine arts, at the very bottom, there's a visual performing and fine arts major. You can pick that, or you can do general studies. You do lose Carrington. You won't be eligible to apply on this internally administered application once you transfer out of the community college or out of the associate degree program. How soon do you fill out the application to transfer? That's going to depend on your 4-year school. We don't handle those transfer applications, Amanda. But I would encourage you to start looking at those transfer opportunities now. My son transferred, he graduated in May, he transferred in August. We started looking in January. We started applying for transfer scholarships in January because that was the what do you call it? Preferred date or I've lost my brain. I don't remember the name, but they had an early deadline and he applied before that deadline. So he found out in March that he had a transfer scholarship. Illustration, I do visual, fine, and performing arts. There's not an option for multiple majors. I just pick one and stick with it. Medical and coding certificate. Good answer. Good question. Let's see what I would pick. Allied health. I would definitely do allied health for medical and coding. So if you're just transferring to a four-year college, Elijah, you can do the eligibility quiz. These are for the internally administered scholarships, but you also want to be in PTK Connect looking for those transfer opportunities over on that side. So there's two things you need to be doing, the internally administered scholarships and the externally administered scholarships, and you need to do it now, both at the same time. So I do the quiz and look at PTK Connect. The quiz doesn't talk to Connect. The application doesn't talk to Connect. If you do the scholarship application, you haven't applied for all these scholarships in PTK Connect, so you need to be doing both at the same time. The number of hours you plan to enroll in, the same as credit hours taken per semester, yes. Medical diagnostic sonography, I would go with allied health. Yes, if you're eligible for something, you're automatically submitted for it when your application's complete. You're only eligible to access PTK Connect if you are a member, but you can get in the support library. I think that's open. Correct me, Kristin. The support library
Sorry.
non-members can access?
Yes, the majority of those articles are open to everyone at support.ptk.org. Just click on scholarships. If there is
Thank
anything
you,
that is
Caroline.
locked down, it will let you know. It should be few and far between, but the majority of everything listed there should be open to members, non-members, whoever logs in.
Mhm.
Actually, you don't have to log in. Whoever goes to support.ptk.org and clicks
Yep.
on scholarships.
Yep. Diana, you don't if you're under visa status, you can still be eligible. Carrington, I'd put the major you're currently studying. If you're eligible, it will ask you for the major that you're going to study at the 4-year. Yep, Wayne, the focus of the eligibility quiz is on an AA program because this is for students who enroll in associate degree coursework or at a community college through the end of the year. So that's why it's geared to AA majors and pursuing a bachelor's program because we do indicate that before you start. There's a little something that says that you read and understand the statements above, and it says enrolled in a minimum of 6 hours in associate degree coursework at the community college through the end of December. So that's probably why you're struggling with that. 12 credits counts as full-time. Yes, I'd go down to 6. Anything between 6 and 12 would be part-time. Wayne, if you're at the 4-year school pursuing a bachelor's degree, I would definitely check at the 4-year school that you're at to see if there's a PTK transfer scholarship you can apply for. That would be in PTK Connect. You might be eligible for the Geico Pathway to Completion Scholarship. You just have to complete the quiz. And I would back up and go from the associate degree point of view at that point. When, what you were studying at the associate degree level, when you transferred. If you didn't transfer into the bachelor's program, I would just use the current dates and kind of modify. It's a 2-year college that has 4-year program. So at the point you left the associate degree program and migrated to the bachelor's degree program, I'd answer it from that perspective. And you probably have some eligibility for the Geico Pathway to Completion program. It may or may not be in Connect. You can check it out though. Rebecca, if you've got questions from your officer team, let them know that they can email us. It's bumping on 5:30. I'm thinking that they're going to shuffle us out of the building pretty soon.
I hear the cleaning crew.
Yep, yep. So we're gonna go ahead and wrap this up. I'm sure we could go ahead for hours and answer questions,
Yes.
but we can't.
I have to go home.
um, Rachel, I would do the PTK scholarship application and check out Connect. Um, you got to turn over a lot of rocks sometimes to find scholarships, but I do both. It's not going to cost you anything, um, and you never know what you're going to find. So we're gonna go ahead and cut it off.
Right.
We'll review all the questions. We'll make sure that if there are multiple, if they're the same question over and over again, we'll get an FAQ out there for y'all, and we'll make sure and send everybody a link when this is posted. So
That's
thank you
right.
guys so much for coming. We're glad that over 700 of y'all joined us today. We hope that everybody learned something. Again, questions, email us. Thank you, Reagan. Thank you, Caroline. Thank you, any other staff member who was on the
That's right.
chat.
Yeah.
Thank you for helping us out. It does take a village, and we are one team
That's right. William
here
is
to
posting
support
all
you.
those links again. Thank you. And it's
Thank you,
going
William.
by very quickly, but
Mhm.
scholarships at ptk.org. You will get a response from myself, Sarah, or Laurie to
Yep,
your questions.
yep, you will. So thank y'all. Have a good night. Good luck on midterms, and email us if
Yeah.
you need us.
Have a good one.